Hello everybody, welcome to the first game of round 3. We've got Spoonio representing the England pub team with the Orcs here, the Blue Orcs as you can see, up against Thulean with his slightly different team of Necromantic. He's got 2 wolves rather than the 1 wolf build, representing Team England of course. And in the booth we've got 2 initial people, we've got GSP and PC. Hello guys.
Good afternoon, Jim. Good afternoon, Dave. Yes, looking forward to this one. So, kicking off round 3 of the virtual tour. So, this is Spoonio representing the pub team, Squad England, and Liam again on Necros. So, interesting matchup, definitely.
Yes, a very bizarre decision to kick and protect a lineman instead of a big un, a guard big un on the LOS, sacrifice to wolfdom. Not what I would have done. Who can say?
Yeah, who's to say if it's right or wrong, Jim? So good afternoon, Chris, and Phil, and Jim, and PC, and GSP, and JF, and everybody else. So the gang's all here. Yeah, it's interesting. This Orcs not favoured by Team England, not seen as a particularly strong race, despite being, you know, in every format I've ever seen a particularly strong race.
Yeah.
So the limitation on Orcs is that you have to put 4 guard on the big uns, really, because you only get 4 guard, and otherwise you have a naked big un like we do here. And that leaves one of your blitzers unskilled. You get 3 skills for the blitzers, and obviously then you can't have guard blitzers, which are great for reposition. Here they've got around that with a naked big un. They have therefore got a repositionable guard blitzer. They've got a frenzy blitzer. They've got a mighty blow blitzer. And is that a tackle blitzer I see hidden away?
It is, yeah.
Yes. So they've got the sort of the full, you know, deck of cards of blitzers, but they've sacrificed a guard big un to do it. That does mean a big un with guard on the line, but I don't hate it entirely, Jim. If that line of scrimmage doesn't stay honest,
it could be a lineman though. It could be a lineman. How can you not hate it? This could have got clawed instantly, but it hasn't been.
There's a couple of them.
Inexplicably, it hasn't been clawed.
You can stand your guards up and practically take over the line of scrimmage sort of on the second round if they're not sort of honest in how they attack them. But you're right, I here would have had 2 linemen and the troll up there.
Looks like he's about to claw the troll, actually. Here we go.
That's weird. That's so weird. You could have just clawed both. I just don't understand.
Well, clawing both leaves at least 1 wolf sort of because of frenzy possibly exposed. Maybe that's the thinking there.
You've got fleshies to protect him though, haven't you? He's playing like he's got 1 wolf.
Fleshies move up afterwards, you're right, but still. Playing like he's got 1 wolf. Well, that is the fashion. Well, perhaps he's practicing being careful with his wolves.
That's the thing though, like if you're careful with them, then you're not getting the value from 2 of them, are you? That's the problem. Like the point of 2 is to get lucky in snowball, isn't it? Which you've got to do versus good players, really. No, you don't have to, but it's the most well. So this is the thing in tabletop. Normally, in a singles environment, you kind of do have to get a little bit lucky, don't you, versus another good player. But
yes,
you don't really have to try and do that in Euroball. You can just take a draw versus a good player.
Well, I mean, obviously it would depend on captain's orders, on how the team sees the matchup, the round, how the other matches are going. But yeah, for sure, that you might go in thinking, you know what, a draw here is a good result for the team. Which sometimes can change how you play, how you look at your risk profiles, all sorts.
Yeah, whereas you'd never do that in a singles tournament because you have to win every game if you want to win the tournament.
Yeah, nowadays it's very rare to be at a tournament where you're not lucky to just win every round.
Interesting to see how much Spoonio put pressure on this left flank here, right? Because I think immediately
he's straight in. He's straight in, isn't he?
Yep.
That's for sure.
Yeah, interestingly, he's choosing to come face to face with the strength, the line of scrimmage, the golems and the wraiths. You might often see stronger teams try and dominate the zombies around the edge, but not so. No, that's where his blitz is coming.
Yeah, blitzed around this left-hand side and presumably start pressure in the side here.
Well, I'd quite like to see some pressure on the naked wolf if you're going to pressure the guard in the middle.
Bit of ball pressure on
double tagging the wolf would have appealed to me, but not to be.
Yes. The problem that you've got to triple tag it. Double tagging isn't good enough because just one gets blitzed and the other gets blocked, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Well, that's a tag,
Certainly,
frenzy
single
on frenzy.
tagging it seems reckless, in my opinion. You certainly double or triple on it, yes,
Yeah.
if you really want to mark one up. Even with the 4 guards all based, it's easily to diagonal block and get one of them free. There's also, ghouls around there that can help out. Okay, he has double tagged it.
He's
So
gone for the
perhaps-
double. That's the
Perhaps
bit.
he's listening. But after the mighty blow with Drew, which again seems like if you're going to go in, go all in.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Triple tag. Triple tag was the way.
Triple tag is very much my feeling there. Make it 3+ away. Don't let it give it hitting options.
These are going to be 1 in 9 blocks, though, really, to re-establish again, though.
Well, the problem is here that if you do take on the frenzy with your first wolf, allowing the second wolf a 2 die, it's 2 die into uphill because of the 2 guards behind. So there is a frenzy trap in there.
Well, maybe it depends what happens with the rest of the hits, doesn't it?
It might be safer because you might want to start with that blank wolf to go for the frenzy as the wolf hit and then hit the tackle piece off that wolf.
Yeah, you can chain it away. You can do all sorts. Lots of things that can happen.
There's ways to make it a little safer because it's still a test there with all the guard pieces tied up. I certainly don't hate this level of aggression against the Necro team.
It's good. It's just risky, isn't it? Because he's so brittle. Like with him having 2 claws, it's good if it works, and not if it doesn't.
Yeah, but when have you ever seen a Necro team want to put 2 claws right into the middle of a big fight with orcs? What they want to do is snipe pieces around the edge, and by going all in right from the start, you are sort of stopping them doing that. Yeah. Of course, if they have a dream turn and knock everything over, you look like a twat. Sorry, YouTube. You look like an idiot. But you appear very wise if it's lots of pushes and some 1 in 9s.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? There's so much dice, and also Thulean's only got 2 rerolls, so this kind of strategy is a lot better against the minimal.
Yeah, no block on the golems. Only strength 3 on the wraiths. You know, it's not a strong team despite all the guard. The ghouls are brittle and don't regen. 1 is blodge, 1 isn't.
Blockless block. Here we go.
And there
And
it
it is a 1 in 9. Yeah.
Yep. And there's 1 golden thread away.
Call me Cassandra.
I'll call you Susan if you want.
Cassandra was, of course, the person who prophesied that Troy would fall, and no one listened to her.
I mean, we did listen though and agreed, so it's not really appropriate.
It's not quite the same. It's just a blatant attempt to drop a classical reference, isn't it, without any real context? But bear with me.
Yeah.
So this approach has paid dividends from Spoonio immediately, right?
It has, yeah.
Went down at 1 reroll, and I would assume he's about to do it exactly again.
Yeah, he's getting this time with 3 hits.
And that wolf has just fallen on the floor.
Yeah.
Now, if only one of the line orcs was in that neck of the woods and could foul it, but I'm not sure that's going to be possible.
He's only got 1 line. He's only got 1. He hasn't got 1 off. He's got 1 line orc.
Yeah. Okay. What if that's line orc?
I don't know. I think just sticking the skillless big gun on him is pretty good, right? That traps him there.
Yes, the 2 reroll build does feel dangerous. In this rule set, I don't dislike the 1 wolf build. There's a fierce debate at the moment on the Team England WhatsApp about it. I do agree that 1 wolf is all eggs in 1 basket. But I also think there's times that the spare wolf just sits being vulnerable and not doing very much.
Yeah.
It's the back corner of a cage, and a very expensive one, because you don't want to risk it in the fight in case it gets taken out. The problem with 1 wolf, of course, is if it goes, it goes.
Yep.
How much is he going to close off this right-hand side before applying? Is he going to take this blockless block on this wraith first? Presumably not.
Hopefully we'll see some safe moves first. Nope. Gets the POW.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I understand that, Demetrius. I mean, it's very much controlling the space, but you know, if I give me four to six blood elves, and I'm going to wall up, and you're going to struggle to push very far forwards. Of course, nowadays with multiple rerolls, there is more you can do about that, but still, I just think rather than 8 or 9 guard, I would rather have, say, 6. And a frenzy and a tackle, or
I definitely just go all guard. Yeah, I guess it is a little bit different, as somebody said about Amazons, because then I think it was Tree said it. I don't know, but yeah, like the Zons having defensive, you struggle even more against them. So maybe one tackle and the rest guard. I don't know.
Vampires that can turn your guard off.
Yeah, they can turn anything off though, can't they?
The blodge wall of fast, agile things. I do think there's things that guard can't achieve. Fabulous, as you know, I think that skill is. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
it's
with 9 guard orcs, there's a lot I can still do with it.
Yes, I mean,
I'm not saying it's bad.
When I tried, when I tried an unlimited Super League format, everybody went with 9 guard orcs. So we were like, right, let's stop that and limit guard.
Yeah.
And everybody agreed to stop that and limit guard. And now we've got several races, and now we've got some blood gels and stuff, and we've got some different things. So yeah.
I mean, it's stopping
Liam having to withdraw immediately here, isn't it?
Dangerous, but I can pull some of your slow pieces around the back by tagging them up with blodge, and you're 1 in 9ing to not go down, but you're 30%ing to pow me.
To be fair, though,
move 7 afterwards, and you can't.
To be fair, though, PC, it is Diomed. So
yes. So yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He's very good at what he does, and he's a very top player. I'm aware.
So
I'm
it's
not saying 8
like,
or 9 guard is bad. I'm saying there are limitations on it, like every build.
It's a bit like K-Fog and Dionysian saying, "Oh, I think Amazons are favoured versus dwarves." Well, they're not. They're not.
They're not.
So yeah, so people are going to be a little bit biased towards the thing. You like your elves, he likes his necro, and you're better than nearly everybody you play, and he's better than nearly everybody he plays. So it is a bit different.
I mean, it's like you said earlier, Jim. I was actually listening and doing something else when you were talking about 2 different builds being maybe 54 and 52 to 53%.
Yeah.
Is that a huge difference? Does some of that then depend on your style and how you use it and what you're comfortable with?
Yeah.
Because also none of us are robots. None of us play the game without bringing our baggage and our history and what our likes and dislikes, and all of that is still there in every decision we take. So sometimes we're splitting very fine hairs. I would love to coach a 9 guard team. I once had a 10 guard orc team, and always said I regretted the throw I didn't have guard. Which was both funny and at times true.
Yep.
So don't get me wrong, it's a fabulously strong thing to do, but I still want in my soul to play bloodbowl, which means having some more agency, some frenzy, or some tackle, or some mighty blow to try and get other things done other than just dominating all the space.
No, well, can't re-roll that.
Knocks out orc.
And now we should be able to get 2 dice on the ball with some pals, but probably need some pals with those sidesteppers and stand firms all standing in the way.
Yeah, while I was droning on, I mean, the Necro have sort of recovered the position fairly well, I think. I was a bit surprised that the downed wolf that dodged off didn't get a bit more attention. It was sort of left to recover fairly easily, and
yes.
I think that could have been prevented.
Yes, I like dropping the skillless biggin on him, which to be fair, he did, didn't he? But then he got removed.
Yeah.
But needed a bit more around him.
Needed a bit more. I mean, like the triple guarding rather than the double tagging. It's about full commitment to what you're trying to achieve that turn.
But if you get some pals, this is 2D on the board, isn't it?
It certainly can be.
Oh, in fact, with 1 pal it is.
I was going to say it's immediate 2D on the board, isn't it? Pretty much.
Of course, it is a blodge piece, so without tackle.
Yes.
It is only 30% on 2 die before the reroll, which will bring it up to a much nicer. There's still not a certain percentage.
Yeah, tackle is out of range. He should have maybe been 2 up here.
Double rushing.
No reason not to. This should have been in.
If he creates the hole in the middle, he can get there with 2 rushes.
No, he can only base.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, okay,
Yep.
my bad. Another power. Good lord.
Kaz, huge. Regen. Fails. Oh my goodness.
Oh wow, yeah.
This is
Liam
rough.
really up against it here.
We're going to go for a troll 3D.
This drive has no momentum. It's very much on the back foot. Looking for ways around the edge, maybe. Trying to outflank the slower orcs, maybe, but you don't love it, do you? And suddenly that tackler and the presumably line orc at the back.
Line
Is
up
that
comes
thrower
into the
at the
3D. Gets the POW. So now we've got the 2D on the ball. Did POW both the wraiths?
Yeah, the wraiths have not done their job, have they? And with the fleshy going down as well, that line of scrimmage fell apart like a Primarch suit.
And yeah, to Diomed in chat there, exactly. And funny enough, that's exactly what K-Fog said. You know, in the World Cup, he played somebody who had tackle on his wraiths, and he said he still thought guard would be better against elves than tackle on the wraiths anyway. So yeah, same thing. Yeah, guard is fantastic against elves for sure.
Guard is fantastic in all situations, but against guard, I can risk putting my blodgers on them and trying to pull apart a couple from the rest of the cage or the advance and either slow it or create, you know, less noise around the ball.
Here we go.
Does reroll.
So there are ways to try and
Into a
attack
1
it.
in 9. I hated that reroll, by the way. Just quietly, I hated that reroll blockless. Just get him the push and then move the other guys in. But now he's freed. He's got quite a freed up little section here. Although these guys are a bit screwed, he can still 1D or dodge away and get the other wolf back into it. So he can make a bit of a push up this side, but. A very nice push down the side, actually, with a wolf blitz. Really nice.
Yes, I mean, I think it's really the only option, isn't it? Is you go left, young man.
Yes, there is no other option, yeah. But also, it's quite a good option. Which is nice, isn't it? Yes, basically do nothing. If I had more stuff to come round and like pressure these three, like he just doesn't have much after it. Like hitting the ball isn't that good. Like I would have probably done it, but like
Kind of snakes. So you can create, as well as having a box already, you can create the T. With the golem at the back, it can advance to next to where the zombie is. Then the wolf can hit from in front of the blitzer, pushing the other blitzer off.
Yes, yeah, you can do like
freeing
the first
the other
push.
zombie to go even further forwards.
Yeah, you can do like the first push into the flesh golem and then the power into the other one and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah. Very
so it gives
nice.
you lots of nice options here. It's exactly what Necro coaches look for. So there's at least that little bit of good news for it.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter that you've got your ghoul there because he can't surf him because you're about to kill the frenzy guy.
Yes. Or at least give him movement problems. But yeah, I mean, that's exactly where I was going to put the golem, so that's, I think, a nice square for it.
Yep. Oh, well, it doesn't use it.
I may have had the ball.
Oh, yeah, you
left.
can push into this one anyway. You can just push into this one that was already there anyway, so it didn't actually make any difference making the T. Oh. Unless you choose to do this. Interesting.
Yeah. No, he wants to knock that other blitzer over. Okay, I mean, that's fine. He is down on numbers. He can't afford any hits at all, I suppose. But it frees up the...
You could have been here. I don't like this at all.
Frees up the back corner, doesn't it?
Yeah, I did not like. I'd have definitely pushed him into the fleshy. Well, would have definitely, probably.
But him knocked over is definitely better, so
yeah.
Maybe that was a hit worth taking.
Yeah, I like the 1D to free the wolf rather than the wolf dodge, obviously, because the 1D can kill the orc, and you'd rather your zombie died than a wolf. So that
I'd have advanced and stayed on it, but I guess because now the big one can occupy both those zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I'd advanced, I'm occupying 2 orcs for sure with the 2 other zombies. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So I would have followed that one up, but it probably won't matter them having another orc free. Because now the guard big and just blocks the zombie in front of it, and it's tying 2 zombies up, giving you more on-field advantage where you need it.
Yes and no though, right? Yes and no. You would in an ideal world having a zombie on a lino is pretty okay, because then you can get your biggin in to a place where the biggin is good. But if your biggin is not going to be good, then you'd rather be on 2 zombies. And yeah, there was no real way to make the biggin good. So that's why it was a good trade. Like, you'd rather the biggin be somewhere else, right? You'd rather the biggin be using his guard.
Exactly. So that biggin's taken 2 zombies out, freeing up both the Line Orc and the Mighty Blow Blitzer to come over to the other side of the field. I think that's a mistake from Thulean not to advance there, personally. But you know.
Yeah, a minor one, but yeah, I think he should have followed. That's the word.
Yeah, Tree. I don't understand. I mean, I guess they got all of that animosity, which is complex and annoying, to make up for the boost in speed to the Black Orcs when they became biggins. But I just wasn't sure they needed it.
Yes, it's weird that they just gave them an annoying thing to remember and care about for tabletop players. Just stupid.
It is
particularly
such a pain.
New ones.
So this one has animosity, yes, but only to the same people. Okay. And this one has animosity to everyone. Okay, and these ones, no, they don't have animosity. But they're the littlest ones. Yeah, I know.
It's annoying that you can't hit the ghoul very well because you don't want to get surfed after you hit him. Because otherwise you could do like a couple of rushes to hit him. A skillless ghoul, but I guess you've just got to blitz the fleshy.
Well, the Orcs are down to 2 rerolls. They're not long on that, but I mean, with both the wolves on things, do you really fear the surf that much? Are you really thinking they're going to put that much effort into surfing when their driver's in this much trouble?
Yeah. Necro players, aren't they?
True.
That's what they do. They
blitz a better race. They didn't want to just surf everything.
They blitz then dodge, or they dodge then blitz. That's how they operate.
That's like, yeah. Which of those 2 things am I doing this turn? Ooh, interesting. Allowing the fleshy to be pushed, probably to clear that Black Orc and free the wolves, or at least one wolf. I mean, there's already a fleshy there that could do that job, but there we are. Or maybe just didn't want to stay on those guys in front to allow repositioning. But it's turned it into a thinker for Spoonio.
Last action, safe move first. Classic. Gets the power.
It's a developing turn, Jim.
Nah, it wasn't. Those 2 should have stood up 5 minutes ago.
Things may have changed to the point where that one didn't want to stand up. No, that one, should have been up from the very beginning.
Also, I didn't like the follow there, right? Keep the ghoul a bit more.
No, I didn't either. Particularly when you knew where it was going. Just stay still and trap it in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, Strider school. Do you know what's funny, right? That we got Strider. He won the season 2 finals. He's obviously done great on tabletop, great on FUMBBL. Like a brilliant player. Like because Blood Bowl is so much more than the safe moves first. But it's hilarious that we've got the Strider school of safe moves, and then we've got Chunt's column, right? Chunt, obviously a great player, done loads on Blood Bowl 2 and Blood Bowl 3. Would have done loads on tabletop if he played on tabletop. He'd be like ODL, wouldn't he? Just the same. And yet he just stands his dude in this column all the time. And Strider was really bad for safe moves first in the season 2 finals. It is funny that's what we've got in Blood Bowl. But I mean, there is a lot more to it than stuff like that, isn't there? That's the thing. But it's good that you can tell new players to not do those things, because you can't tell them to think as good as Chunter and Strider, right? Like that's a lot harder to say.
Yes. I mean, you start by saying don't do those things, and then when they get a little better, they will understand there are times those things have to still get done. But the turn ordering, I mean, less so. There are developing turns. There are turns where even something that looks sane and safe, you do want to do later because of something else you're going to do that might change how you think of things. But if something is, no matter when you're doing anything, definitely going to stand up, then it should be done first, obviously.
Yeah.
Chunt's column, I mean, there are times it's the right place to be, but obviously there's a load of times it really isn't.
Yep. The equity song, yeah. I mean, it should be. It should be. But, okay, it's taken
it
them a long
deliberately
time
wasn't it? That's the whole thing. Dio deliberately made his advice opaque so that you had to put some effort in if you wanted to get better. He didn't believe it should just be given away freely to every Tom, Dick and Painter.
Is he blitzing with a ball here, or?
I'm confused.
I think he's going to have to, unless he can't put the wolf in.
You can't risk a wolf on that.
No.
Is he going to punish?
And if you hit the frenzy, because of the way you hit the Black Orc, which was, I'm going to go with the word wrong, you can't hit the Frenzy Orc at the moment. I mean, if you hit and power that, you'd solve all problems and you could wolf the tackle. But even then, you're tying a lot of pieces up.
Yeah, it's a bit of a pickle. Fighting orcs.
I don't think we're making much progress.
1 in 9 is horrific, says Captain Oates, and there is the 1 in 9. To be fair, the 1 in 9 with blitzing with a ball was also absolutely horrific, and maybe more horrific than this. So,
yes, I mean that solves some of your problems.
Yep.
You can now wolf the tackle piece
with your wrestler as well. Whoa. Okay,
yeah, and still have the block wolf to screen and get the blodge ball.
You've got it though.
Quite far up, so that's all going to be good.
Yeah, he can cage down here, can't he?
And now the big free thing, I do want to point this out because, you know, it's not that I love being right, but I'm right quite a lot. Is that the free orc that's still causing some problems is the one that could have been tied up by that zombie chip. just you know, just saying.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? That is the thing with Blood Bowl, is that every decision then has the knock-on effects, and like the cumulative positional impact is a big thing, and that's why, you know, you could take over a new player's turn in turn 6 or whatever, and you're going to be screwed because all of the decisions they've made in the previous 5 turns have made it unrecoverable.
I mean, that orc probably still won't be enough to stop it, but it could be not there.
Yes.
Which would have been, I think,
it's going to be on the wolf, isn't it? It's going to be on the wolf at least, or like doing something.
It's going to be doing something, and I would rather it was doing nothing.
This big un can get pushed up one.
Yeah, there are some sexy chains here.
Yeah, we can chain the big un up, right?
Only one though, and it doesn't do a whole lot. But I mean, it gets him free.
It does, because it then gives.
But then we can use the wolf to... No, the one with... we can't.
Yeah, so there's got to be a push and chain up.
Yeah, it just doesn't do a whole lot.
No, but it puts a wolf under threat, which is always fun, and gets a big un up into the action.
It probably gives you the tackle hit. It probably gives you the tackle hit, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, it gives you this.
So it does give you some useful things.
This guy should have probably been on the wolf first. And this guy stood up first, right?
Yep. No, that's the blitz, Jim.
Big foul. Big foul.
But yes, the two that will be moving afterwards.
Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. This guy should have stood up first. The big one here is down.
Yeah.
Sorry, you couldn't see
sorry.
that. I'm not sharing the screen.
But the one that's just tagged the wolf could have done so several moves ago.
Yes, yeah.
The one that's still down by the troll could definitely have moved as well. Although maybe it is moving into a space that's created by the wolf. So I'll forgive one of them not moving, but if it's tagging the wolf as well. Yeah, so that one going in there is fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But the one tagging the wolf could have gone before.
Well, I would have tagged the wolf with that guy anyway first, and then the other guy would have, because the other guy was in a vaguely, better position. I get to, and then he wouldn't have had to rush. He cost himself a rush by doing it the other way around.
And certainly, whichever one tagged the wolf could have gone before the blitz.
Yeah.
And the stand-up could have happened any time. So yes, it's a little bit of turn ordering, but that's what I mean about a developing turn. Sometimes you don't know how you're going to use them until you get the hit. Maybe if it had been a push, you wouldn't have tagged the wolf like that.
Yes,
but
maybe, but this one definitely. Yeah, that's wild. A wild reroll. Oh, here we go. He's dubbed skulls essentially.
Yep.
I don't hate getting an orc out ahead of the ball like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Well, particularly Liam's out rerolls with tackle on the ball, right? So
Yeah.
it's looking.
Yeah, the AV break was wonderful, wasn't it?
Rushes to do if he wants to score this turn and get out of range of everything.
Yeah.
So there's no good options here, no good plays, and that push on really, really helped. It means a stumble on the line is as bad as a failed dodge, because there's going to be an all right on the ball, at least one.
You're probably just 3-2-2 to score.
Yeah.
Naked 3-2-2.
Yeah. Stand everything up and 3-2-2. Maybe you don't even stand the other wolf up for the risk of it dying.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that's his consideration right now. Is am I just leaving it on the ground because it's going to get hit if I stand it up? Yeah, absolutely, Captain. I mean, you can one die the
Which makes you wonder if the reroll was
down,
worth
but it's
it,
not
right?
very helpful.
That reroll, I'm not sure it was worth it, because if you don't make this, is he still having a 3-2-2 to score? Probably, right?
No, you can 3 and stop.
Yeah.
Because you go 7,
right.
remember?
Yeah.
And then if the wolf comes 2, you're probably alright. Certainly you can 3-2 and stop.
Yeah, you've got at least 3-2, yeah. And maybe you can stop.
And then you can risk maybe dodging the wraith off that's down on the line of scrimmage, for example. Bring that up onto the line orc and then dodge the wolf. So yeah, I think you can probably eke another turn out. But
is it worth the reroll? I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Because it doesn't change that much. It doesn't change that much in making that dodge. Like, it's obviously better. It's just whether it's using your reroll better, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think PC's right, that it forces. Well, it forces the 3-2-2 this.
Oh my god! Imagine doing a touchdown dance in that situation. Outrageous.
Jim's also right in that it now means you have forced yourself to have 3 turns to strike back. But what the hell are you going to do? Because you've got no rerolls.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one, Jim. I liked it when he did it because of the pressure.
Yeah.
But you're right. I've now got 3 turns and no rerolls.
Well, one for.
He's got 1 reroll. He's got a reroll.
Yeah, 1. Okay. Well, then I'm fine with it. Then I'm fine with it because now I've got a realistic chance of those 3 turns getting me somewhere. Although we're going to have to see some hustle from Spoonio, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting one. That strikes me as one of the ones where you re-roll or you don't re-roll, and then you instantly think, oh, actually, this isn't much better or it isn't much worse. I shouldn't. Like, you know what the classic one is when you're 1 in 9 and then re-roll it and then still 1 in 9 and then realise it actually wasn't that bad, so you could have eaten it. That strikes me as one of those things where it's not that much better.
Maybe, I mean, you might be right because 2 in this situation is wonderful and really much better than 1. I mean, so much more than twice as good, because it means you can really push this turn until that first one goes, get some people really deep into the field and into position, making turns 7 and 8 so much easier.
Oh, we got Goblin, haven't we? Instead of Throw.
Goblin.
Right.
Goblin. We've got the thrower as well.
Okay, all right.
We got Mr. Throw as well.
We've got a thrower.
I was about to say, I
Goblin,
hate this lineup. Having said for years that we overcomplicate lineups, this one is awful from the Orcs. I mean, come on, Jim, it is.
I don't know. It's not what I would do, but who can say if it's good or bad?
Okay, well, I'm going to. It's bad. He's not my teammate, I can say that. It's bad. It doesn't do anything much. Any particular piece you don't want to move, you can freeze up by dropping a flesh golem onto it without having to go for it. If you need to get around the edge, you can. You've got fast pieces. The line of scrimmage isn't particularly reinforced. There's no quick way for the Orcs to respond on either flank. There's no plan as to how they seem to want to get forwards.
I'm assuming through the middle here, right? So, I presume...
Oh my god, he's with the ghoul. That's not what I would have done.
You can either use line Orcs to freeze the golems on the sidelines. There's no attempt to do that. Or to at least to freeze the wraiths. And then ignore the golem on one sideline while you attack the left centre here as he's doing. Why isn't he freezing up the right side so it can't come and reinforce?
I hate not going all in on the, like, I think you've got to go full send on the, like, you know, getting through.
Regen again.
Yeah, if you're not through this turn, I don't think you score.
No, he had to blitz this zombie, right? Because he doesn't have to 2+ to hit it, and he hasn't got sidestep, so you blitz this zombie and go through and get downfield. You don't just blitz the, like, this is why these are in the safest positions, because you just cannot blitz these ghouls. But he did.
Looks to me like we're
going for the throw.
Terrible choice. And we haven't, as I said, we haven't frozen either of the golems. We haven't frozen the wraith in place. So we haven't taken, you know, we could have frozen the wraith, ignored the golem on the right as we look, and attacked through that zombie. And they've got very little to respond with. We can then throw a line orc up to the golem on the left, and both the golems are out of the picture. So it really wasn't a particularly difficult setup to attack, but our setup as orcs was particularly poor and didn't give us any chance to.
I think we'll see how Liam reacts to it, right? As whether Spoon thinks he's got another turn to push these blitzers forward into scoring range afterwards. Potentially just really worried about something counter there on the kickoff. I don't know. Team England have rolled a lot of blitzers, Dave.
It wasn't a particularly anti-blitz setup, though, was it? Is the problem?
It was. No, it was just stopping again.
Like I said, there was space around the edges on it. It looked very much like I'm throwing the goblin setup to me. And
it did, but strange decision then to follow up with the troll there, right?
Very odd.
That's going to be the case, right?
But perhaps he's confident he can clear the front off the troll. You know, 2 big and hits and a blitz will always clear the 3 spaces in front. So perhaps he wants every little inch he can get. But then why the goblin isn't right behind him?
Yeah, the goblin needs to be next to him if that's the case, right?
It's all a bit odd at the moment.
It's all gone a bit Pete Tong.
Well, you say that, he's still in a very good position though, right? Both a wraith not coming back, a zombie's not coming back, so if he finds some way to get this in, you got to fancy him, I think.
I mean, even if you don't, he should be good for the draw with a down a guard wraith. Losing a wraith and a player is incredible, right? He's got 10 players and he's down a wraith, so it is.
Yeah, 10 players and down a guard. Down a guard and not even a zombie to replace it is very, very weak position.
Wraiths are
absolutely
so good. Wraiths and fleshes are so good, and losing one of them is terrible. It's weird. It's a weird thing for Necro, right? Because you want your ghouls, your wraiths and your fleshies hit, but then you really, 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 really don't want them removed.
Yes, absolutely. Can you hit them softly, please? So the problem here is that you want to get at least one blitzer downfield. And yet you probably want to hand off to the goblin and get your throw in place, because it looks like that's your best option from here. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to do both of those. Because like we said, the troll needs to be free and the goblin needs to have the ball. There's a fair amount to accomplish from this position to even make that a viable play.
Well, there's a possible gaping hole if you I think you just make the troll block, right? Make the troll block.
Yeah, I think see if you
find out what happens. Blitz the zombie, block with the other black orc, and then hopefully they've both been able to move forwards.
Potentially get the goblin forward as well, right?
Probably hand off to the goblin and run forward with it.
Yeah, maybe give it the ball, you know.
It's pretty diabolical, but first action troll block I don't even hate.
Well, I mean, I do, but it might have to get done.
I think mispositioned by Thulean, right? If he put the ghoul there, it's that. But then he's open through this way. But this zombie could have been here. This zombie could have been here, and then the ghoul could have been there, and then you've got a complete screen. Whereas now it's open. It's very much on. I think he's wasting the time just to get his courage up, but he's got to open with the troll block, I think.
Well, on the zombie, you can't block the wraith with the troll.
No, the zombie. Yeah, you've got to power this zombie.
You've got to power the zombie. Power it. Yeah,
you've got to power the zombie.
Let's work.
Then you push this, and then you're through. I think that's the only play.
I think so, right? Because you can still try and clear the troll on turn 8 if you get the. Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, you could have also vomited on it, actually.
Yeah.
That was maybe the better play than blocking.
Got the loner.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a bad place to be.
Yeah, but he's in a bad place for a score, isn't he? Like I think that was the best way through.
Yeah, I think he's got to. If he's going to score, he's going to have to take some rest there, right?
Yeah, I wasn't convinced there was a way through. I was more concentrating on freeing up both Troll and
So he is
Goblin,
now.
so that
He's
next
now
turn
definitely going to the
they're
throw.
much harder to mess with.
Yeah.
But
he's
yes, if you were looking to
definitely-
both break something through and get the ball to the Goblin, that was the route.
Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah, he's definitely 1,000,000% all in on the throw now.
Yeah, I mean there isn't another play, so
Well, you could 6-6
well, that-
3 through.
That blitzer he just moved could have got into scoring range down the right hand side.
Oh.
yes, and probably should have done so after this handoff, just
Yeah.
for some more
Yeah,
option.
I think so, right? Because
Yeah.
he couldn't protect it.
No,
Any
power.
better than that. So
and
now
the
you
mighty
are
blow
talking
could
about
have
blitzers.
been in the same square if you wanted that square filled. So,
Mhm.
do you know what I mean? I don't think that achieves anything. But as you say, 2 rushes now wouldn't give you another option that might be useful. Because goblins can also just wander through lines and hand off to people, so they would have to have done something about it.
Yes, tagging the fleshy was way better. You could have tagged this fleshy and tagged that fleshy, and then the fleshies aren't going to stand in
Yeah.
front of you.
Yeah, also better options.
This is just a bunch of fleshies coming in on the troll here, isn't it?
Thulean has not put a fleshy on the troll. Oh, I
I'd
guess you can
put both fleshies on the
you
troll,
can blitz
and
one.
then I would
you can blitz
put everything
this
else
and,
on the landing zone.
you can blitz this and push it back, push the goblin back.
Ah,
That's
yes.
really nice. But
Which
he's
is
missing a
nice.
guard for it, so he should have got the other guard in there. This fleshy could have come in there. And he's got,
No, if he blitzes with the
oh
goblin,
yeah,
it's
he's got
fine.
2. He's got 2 assists. Yeah, he's only needs
Because
one
it's
guard.
a strength forward, 2 assists.
I missed this
One
assist because
guard.
I'm an idiot. But yes, yeah, this is a lovely blitz, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and it really, really, really fucks the orcs up.
I'm legitimately.
Oh, he does it that way. Okay,
an
that's
idiot.
that's maybe even better, isn't it?
Well, yes, I mean, if he knocks the troll over, it's game over time, isn't it? And he only needs one more assist in to do that, and he has plenty of spare players.
The angle isn't good though. The angle isn't good. So, like, it's totally not game over, right? If he powers the troll now, then he just blocks. He beats off the fleshy and then stands up, walks back, and throws it.
You remember you've got 2 other things you can put in on the troll, but yes, I see your point. Maybe
Yeah,
just leave it
I-
there.
Yeah, I don't like the block there, right? It's tough to get that fleshy out, and
Yeah, I think not hitting him is best.
Yeah, because particularly
Yeah,
with the
okay.
flesh column next to the tackle piece, there just isn't ways of leveraging that troll out.
Yeah, I think hitting him was worse.
Not leveraging the goblin for.
taking it anyway.
Yeah, that I think is a worse position. I really do.
Yeah.
Well, that's now made it possible, I think, again, right? Because if we can power the fleshy,
Yep. He can
Yes,
blitz-
if we power the flesh,
then,
we can,
then the big un can. The big un
then we
clear
can
the other one.
blitz the ghoul off. In fact, we might be better to blitz the ghoul off first and then power the fleshy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no! He can put in. He can blitz the fleshy and then block the ghoul. Yeah. No, this is better.
But that's not possible if the troll is where the wolf is, right? What is that?
Yeah, if he hadn't, I think it was definitely better to not block the troll.
Yeah, I think not blocking was better there.
Or pushing the goblin back. But yeah, not blocking the troll is better. Yeah. Yes, this is the
I like
play,
that.
isn't it? This is the play.
I did like pushing the troll forward, but then I don't understand pushing it back if you just pushed it forward, I guess.
Yeah.
But one to ask Liam afterwards, I think.
When he does what to the flesh, he beats him off. What's wrong with that? So we just
We
need to
perhaps,
push.
of all the things we have nicknames for, perhaps we do need something better for that.
No, it's the best. It's the best. It means you just need to push, right? So it actually was inappropriate for the fleshy. So here we go. A stand
this is
up
on.
in no tackle
Yeah.
zone.
Now on
Well,
again, yeah, it's. I mean, for a much worse square, because it's now back behind its own line of scrimmage again. But yeah,
See what?
I think if you'd not hit it, I think this would have been much harder to see
We're
happen.
gonna
Yeah.
see it.
He KO'd
Pick
him.
him up.
And that's why you let it happen, is because mostly they just hurt the goblin.
Yeah. Genius.
Unless it's against me.
Oh, there was a treacherous trapdoor that's now finished, but they're still on the pitch. Great.
What a wonderful
So
and relevant thing that was. Thank goodness we had prayers.
11 on 10. 11 on 10 then, right?
Yep. Yep,
Okay.
so you'd fancy the draw for the Orcs here.
Would? Yeah.
But you never know.
No, I think. Well, I mean, we'd have to rewind back to whatever turn, right? But with the wraith and then one of the zombies gone, it was looking pretty desperate for Liam, right? So I think he'd be delighted coming out of that. Still holding his
I
stride.
think he's I think he's in a
can't
good
lose.
place. The worst he can do now probably is draw.
Yep.
Very hard to see the Orcs getting into a position where they would score within 3 or 4 and push for a second. I mean, not
You
impossible, but we'd want to
need
see,
a-
say, 3 or
yeah,
4 removals.
Yeah, more removals definitely. I think, right? And then they still got to get up the pitch, Dave. This is the problem with Orcs, right?
Yeah, they're not quick. I mean, neither are Necro, to be fair, but they're 4 quick. Well, 5 of their 6 reasonably quick players, and they're 4 ones that you would count as quick, so 7 plus, are still on the bench.
Oh, now it's 11v9.
Okay, well, yeah, it's only a KO. I think if from here I got 2 perms, I might think, okay, let's push for the win. But I'd still want a couple more off field. I want at least one of them definitely not coming back.
I definitely wouldn't push for the win, by the way.
I don't think so. This early in the round, too, right? I mean, I think a draw would be a very good start for the pub team. So we'll see. We'll see.
I
It's
feel
still,
like you would need four Cas or something. Like, it's so hard to push because you're so slow and the wolves are so fast. That even giving them a 3 turn, it's not good odds for you. I don't think.
I think maybe if you could chip one of the potential ball carriers, right? Then maybe. I think if we can take a wolf and maybe KO one of the ghouls off. But we'll see. We'll see.
I know your loyalties are divided, Chris, but they really shouldn't be.
Never.
This round, I think it's absolutely fine. Team England should always come first.
Team England will always come first.
It's the debit test.
Will always come first. Look, well, obviously this round we've got crossover through the challengers as well as in Team England as well, right? Of guys who play regularly together, and that's the delightful bit. It's also maybe a sign that the competition's stepping up a little bit. As well.
I think it's really interesting bringing together some men that regularly play with each other to play with other men.
And some ladies here as well, David.
Yes, there is. I wasn't
There is
lucky.
indeed.
We've
We've
got to
got.
play with the ladies' bits.
I think well, two ladies out of 36 is probably more representative than it is in most Blood Bowl tournaments. Is my guess.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yep. So. Yeah, Spoonio looking like he just wants to slowly grind forward here, right?
Yeah.
Well, he's in a great position to do that. 11 versus 9. He's got to feel very
10
confident.
now.
that he
10
can
now. PC.
push this forwards. Oh, sorry, did I miss one going on?
Yeah, Blitzer. Mighty
Oh,
Blitzer
yes.
got banged out.
Okay, well, 1 up's nice, 2 up's super nice.
The win is 100% off the table with that Blitzer removal.
Said my wife. Yes.
Yeah, got to be a little bit careful with making sure we get forward with Orcs, right? Particularly against Necro, but should still be fine.
You don't want to get separated, particularly when suddenly 2 wolves, 2 ghouls, and a wraith can be right up your bum, with the golems holding everything else back. So yeah, you really want to make sure that when you advance, everything's coming together.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well no. Oh my. Wait. Oh, he didn't realise the troll is stupid. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh my god. Well, instant 2D on the ball.
I think here we have to blame difficulties with the interface, a lack of familiarity with Blood Bowl 3.
And he's played Lords on Blood Bowl 3.
He's never played Blood Bowl 3 before.
He's actually played Lords on Blood Bowl 3.
He doesn't have. He only bought it for this very game.
Oh dear! I was thinking, all right, he's going to cage over here. Then why hasn't he activated the troll yet? It's just okay. Just forgot. We've seen other people do that, haven't we? Who've also played Lords.
Yeah, other people that are new to a client will often make mistakes like this. It's
People who've played Lords have. Oh my god! And Thulean missed it. Or maybe he just said, "Don't worry, I won't do it because it's Blood Bowl 3." Or it's bugged on our screen. There's three options. There's three options.
There is that. It could, display bug. I'll buy that. Thulean thinking, no, I want to practice this game properly and not take the obvious mistake.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Or just neither of them saw it. Is also, sits in the mix. But
They're
probably the least, having them both not responded to it, probably the least likely now, isn't it?
Yeah. I need answers.
Well, some things aren't ours to know in life. Sorry.
Well, they're talking to each other while they're playing, so there is the potential for like Spoonio to have gone, oh my god, I'm an idiot, and then Thulean said, don't worry, I'll play properly. And that seems quite reasonable.
Yeah, you're expecting two people there to have been nice during a game of Blood Bowl, Jim. And indeed reasonable.
Oh my god, I can tell you an incredible quote sometime, but not on air.
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that nice and reasonable are not things I tend to associate with the playing of Blood Bowl.
Or just humans in general.
Yeah.
Let's see how immediately activates the troll. Maybe this was just next level strats by Thulean, who did notice it, but he thought, haha, he won't notice it next turn, so I'll set up an even more crushing turn next turn, but he hasn't done that. So
he's got quite a nice screen with his wolves in reasonable position. Hasn't really dealt with the threat on the right of the field, though.
No.
But in terms of moving forwards, the screen is decent. It's just it doesn't look like it's going to try and do that.
Oh, well, he hasn't activated the troll yet.
In a similar sense to, I feel I am personally very well protected against being, attacked by a multiple horde of 3-year-olds. Just, unfortunately, that doesn't seem a very likely happenstance. But if they came for me, Jim, I'd be ready.
Good. Glad to hear it, PC.
I wouldn't.
He's moved the ball first. He's moved the ball first and left the troll out. Oh my god, this troll.
Is the troll even there? Is now a question, isn't it?
Oh my god, yeah, is the troll actually there? No, it is there. It's moved. It's moved. It's moved. It has moved. It is there, and it is not. And it was stupid because the end of effect confused. So it was stupid. It was definitely stupid. So either they both missed it.
They were nice or they were stupid.
Or they were nice, yeah. Yes. Which is basically the same thing.
I was going to say, under capitalism, is there a difference? What a lovely, lovely fence he's built there. Look at that. Look at that. That's not screen, that's a fence.
I don't like this though. I don't like this last move, right? That could have been next to the troll.
It wasn't needed.
You
don't need that corner covered at all, and the troll is now friendless, which isn't good. You're absolutely right. It should be diagonally back one. Even the troll, I would argue, should be up one over the line of scrimmage.
Yes, the troll should have been adjacent to that guy. Yeah, 100%.
And then the tackle guy should maybe be level with the ball if the troll was one further.
Or it could have been 2 forward. I like putting the troll on the fleshy, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't hate that either. Certainly where it is, I think, is the wrong space for it.
Yeah.
It now needs rescuing, which, much as it may set off the white knight in all of us, isn't ideal in Blood Bowl.
Oh, Sith Trooper. Flip me, PC.
What? That's good quality commentary, that is.
Yeah, brilliant. doing here? Not smashing him with a wolf. When he moved this guy in, I thought he was going to blitz this guy with a wolf, but then he moved him in there, which doesn't make any sense for hitting him with a wolf, so it didn't hit him.
Well, thank goodness he didn't because of the frenzy trapness of it. But I mean, having 2 wolves and not hitting things with it isn't always ideal. But I mean, the problem with wolves is you can't control them as well because of the frenzy. I've always said frenzy's a nega trait, and there are levels on which it genuinely is.
Yeah, but he could have hit this guard, all right. He could have put the zombie in there, and then he could have run around and hit him, and then.
I mean, I quite like clearing off that black orc on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
The big one, yeah, and moving some of that stuff that's around it up.
Yeah, or he could have
onto this.
He could have moved somebody in and just blitz this guy with claw, right?
Onto this fence, yeah. But certainly, I think we're still too heavy on the line of scrimmage. We haven't responded enough to this push up the flank.
Yeah.
Possibly we don't care because we are accepting a draw. Because the Negro, as we said, aren't really in a position to do much.
They can't accept the draw ball. I mean, they've got to fight tooth and nail. Oh wow, he re-rolls that. That is a disastrous blitz. If you feel you have to re-roll it, you shouldn't be doing the blitz. In my opinion, on turn 12.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the gain in that I guess you feel you could be away and clear, but you've still got the troll to recover. There's 2-3 big uns that aren't coming with. I think it would mean you'd score early anyway.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I don't love it.
I just think that potentially the ball was completely under threat there, right? You had a base cage.
Yeah,
with,
and if it absolutely, if it double skulled, you were losing your ball probably.
Yeah, I hate it.
And now we haven't recovered the troll, despite having to send an alt to do it. So now we're exposed again.
Yeah. This is
And a
pretty
1 die
diabolical.
does free up a ghoul around the edge onto the ball, so we do need to worry slightly about that. There's a lot of bad things happening here.
Oh my god, a 1 in 9. Eats it. Now he's freed the LOS, and there's a pretty easy 2D on the ball. Oof.
Well, I mean, you say pretty easy, Jim. It's not. It's there,
easy.
but
it's a 1D. It's a 3+ for a 2D on the ball. Essentially, a 3+ a 2D block and a rush. I mean, that's pretty. A 3-2 for a 3-2
1, 2,
2D.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Push
10.
this guy to there. Put in a
1,
player to
2,
cancel
3,
the
4,
assist.
5, 6, 7,
Hit this
8.
guy.
Well, I mean, the ghoul. Yeah, once. Oh no, I don't. That zombie's wrong. Okay, if you knock the black orc over, the ghoul can still go around the back, or at least even push it. But really, you need it powered.
I think he's doing my play of the 3+ to 2D the ball.
Well, the 3+, that's how I'm getting a wolf round with wrestle to 2D the ball, but my assist is coming from the ghoul that's down on the line of scrimmage, going around the back of the downstream troll.
Ooh. The double skulls.
Ah.
Yeah, so he's blitzed it with the
2,
flashy
3,
then,
4,
right?
5, 6,
Yeah,
7.
I wonder.
Oh no, he's not. Oh, he's making this a 2D. But then he's only got
Okay,
one
and
D
then
on the
looking at
ball.
going that way. Yeah, I mean, if that's good too. But that ghoul still goes around the back for an assist on a single rush.
Have to, or it's 1 day into uphill, right?
Oh yeah, so okay, so now he does the ghoul for the assist. Yeah, okay, that's fine, I guess. I guess that's fine. But I just could never make a dodge or a rush, so I discounted that possibility. But yeah, that might be better, I guess, in a way.
I mean, there's other options. The wraith that's up on the tackler could take a 3+ there to move it,
Just 1D
and then the
power.
wrestle comes around. That's the easiest
Break
option. Just
AV.
get 1B power. And then the ghoul's ready to fetch.
Maybe Thulean thinks it's still got his tackle zone, seeing as he didn't go for the ball side the previous turn. Maybe he doesn't realise this is confused.
Perhaps it has, and we don't realise it, Jim.
No, it's definitely... Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I think he had to.
Yeah, he doesn't. He clearly doesn't know it's stupid or isn't.
Yeah. Also, he could have just surfed that
Responding
tackler
to it.
rather than hitting the ball. That was also fine, wasn't it? Just surfing the tackler, honestly.
Yeah, which was a 1 die into 2, but
2 in a 2. He was right there. Like you could just put that guy there, and then the other wolf surfed him.
yes, but isn't the blitzer with guard going to mean that the first one has only got 1 assist?
No, because you can move that guy there first, right? So he had a guarder and another player, so he could just.
Okay, well I wouldn't have needed 1 on the edge if I did my 1 into 2.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
And that would have left him free afterwards. But yes, it's 1 with wrestle into 2, so I would have done that rather than had someone on the edge.
Yeah.
But I see your point. Yes, you could have done 2 into 2.
either way, you could have just surfed him, which is pretty good,
Yes.
isn't it? Surfing an orc.
And yet going around the back didn't happen, which I think is confusing.
Yeah, I think he could go around the back. Yeah, maybe he didn't see.
I like
honestly,
going around the back.
maybe he didn't see this stupid.
Maybe.
troll.
Well, that's
I-
twice the
I-
stupid troll
yeah.
hasn't been taken advantage of. And this troll is really not helping, is it?
Yeah.
Although it's making its re-rolls.
Oh,
no, that
that
was the
stops
black.
the
That
that
was
was
the
a
troll. That was the black hawk. Okay.
Should have gone
Yeah.
there first. Does it anyway. Gets the knockdown. Wasn't a blitz. Flip me.
Don't bounce the ball.
A lineman pickup.
Yeah.
It's all gone wrong for El Spoonio. It's all gone a bit Pete Tong.
It has, Jim.
Often the problem with the orc drive, though, right, is ultimately you'll be able to grind down in 8 turns, but something goes a bit skew with, either positionally or life-wise, and you end up in trouble.
I mean, that's
he's
true
still
of
got time
every
to
race. I
recognize
think I feel very anti-orc sentiment from a guy called Greenskin Phil. You seem very anti-orc. Every team's in struggles if they play bad or roll bad. Like it's not like elves just can never roll bad or can never play bad or whatever. Like it's going to happen with every race. You just seem
No, but
phenomenally biased against orcs, honestly.
I'm not biased against orcs at all. I just
Phenomenally
think that
biased.
certain teams have slightly more agency to rescue positions on offense, Jim. And Orc, they don't have to get it perfect, but they do need to have turns
Where
where
did
things go correct.
where did the bad orc touch you, Chris? Show me on this orc doll.
I mean, they're less likely to get into trouble, though, aren't they? That's the thing. Like, you know, it's kind of true in a way, but also that, you know, like dwarves, right, are obviously worse down players than wood elves are, but wood elves are a lot more likely to be down players than dwarves are. But so
But,
you know, so it balances out.
your
a bit,
move
doesn't it?
6 block strength access orc blitzer is cheap as chips and widely seen as one of the best pieces in the game.
Right.
On top of that, expensive as they are, the big uns are strong and now reasonably quick. And line orcs, underused as they tend to be because of the joy of lots of other things, are again pretty good damn value for their 50k. Goblins come with stunty and can do all sorts of crazy stuff, and trolls are cheap for a big guy. Orcs rerolls aren't expensive, and they have Apo access, so it's not as good as regen, obviously. But you know, I don't see the weakness, except they gave them this stupid animosity. And yes, they lack anything quicker than 6, and that can be a limit.
Yeah, I just think you see, and so as I said at the start, right, Spoonio has played orcs a ton, and on tabletop, very accomplished with them. When they get into problems, it's on this end of the ball, right?
Yeah, tends to be.
Always. Yeah. But as I say, he's got 3 turns to rescue this here, and
Without rerolls. No,
he's got one left.
He's got
one left.
I don't know
One
why I
left.
thought
He's
he
got
had
one.
one. He's got one.
Yep.
And he faces a wraith-free team, so that's got to help.
Yes.
That's getting short on numbers.
Yeah, there's only 2 sticky players now.
However, when you look at the board, I mean, there's obvious problems as a coach that leap to mind, which is 2 of your better strength players, your big uns, are stuck on zombies, so that's
Yes.
terrible.
Yes.
Your troll isn't doing anything, it's right at the back of the pack, whereas his flesh golems are tying up 3 of your really nice players. and really limiting your access to space. And he's got good, aggressive, responsive things up ahead of the ball where he wants them. So really, Thulean's in for the limited numbers he's got them in exactly the right spot. So the Orcs need to try and alter some of that maths, some of that geography.
And they haven't got long to. Ooh, I don't like the follow though. That gives him a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, it sort of allows the cut back to the middle.
Yeah. Which you want to do to get your big uns relevant anyway.
Yeah, connect back to the big uns. Right?
Yes, yeah, probably so. You've got time now to do that, as you are accepting that you're only drawing here. What you're trying to do as the Orcs is the exact opposite of where you were, which is get your pieces active and keep his best pieces, particularly the flesh golems, tied up somewhere.
Right.
See, that troll, I would have put it on the golem.
Wrapped around, yeah, I think that should have been a wrap around onto the golem, right? And then blitz this other big and free.
I don't mind it,
giving him
honestly.
too much agency, too much freedom.
I don't mind the troll there. To tell you the truth, I don't hate that at all.
Well, at least it's a good central position, giving you 2 turns to push forward. Then there is that.
And it was done
but
first.
I think you've got enough
safe moves first.
Yeah, you've got enough other pieces that you could have dropped that on the golem, freezing it in place,
and
then moved everything else afterwards.
Is he, because both the walls are down though, is he going to be able to hold them in place just with that blitzer? They're going to be able to hold them in place anyway, right? I think. Needs to get this big and free though. So, frenzy blitz.
But the frenzy is the blitz on the big one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can slightly close the door like that with the line orc first. Although you could also have been on the down wolf, but
doesn't get the both down. It does get the AV break.
Move the other one.
Having moved the line orc first, it's fine for him to be there. Yeah. It still closes everything up. Oh, I didn't like that block, but there
I don't. That one was probably unnecessary at the end of it, right?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd take that block if it's me.
Take it 1,000,000%.
You would?
Yeah,
yeah,
1,000,000%. Punch things.
I suppose it's hard to attack the cage from that side, right?
You win the game by punching things most of the time. I wouldn't rush there either. You've got one reroll, just get him out. He's so good getting him out there. There's no need to give away 2D hit on him. Just get him out.
Yeah, particularly when you could have been doing just as good work in the space before, standing on that wrestle wolf.
Yeah.
And I know there's someone already standing on it, but he's going to get knocked over. So
yeah, I thought
one less rush, and you're standing on the wolf instead of standing on the ghoul, which I think was as good.
Yep.
Yeah, that exactly
Good
there.
good turn from Spoonio after a couple of horror turns, right?
Yes.
Getting back,
Yes.
Getting back to the middle, stabilising, giving
really nice.
chance to draw. Yeah.
And now, obviously, pushing left next turn, probably unaccompanied, unless the Necro do something about it.
Be really hard with this stun zombie down the bottom though to stop these 3 at the bottom getting out there, right? Because they can block with the frenzy.
Yeah, the frenzy gets back to being good this turn.
Yeah, freeing up both of those big uns. They can come forward supporting, and it's just whether he can keep this big un at the top active. Probably not, I'm guessing, but he's got to free up some pieces here, right? With both walls on the deck, regardless of how quick they are, they've got a hell of a lot of recovery to do here.
Yeah, I mean, because the golems probably are moving from where they are.
Yes,
you want to free up the second ghoul as quickly as possible, and then get the wolves in the game.
Because it's Blood Bowl 3, quietly lay him down to just over a minute and time bank left.
Yeah.
Could play a part here in these last couple of turns.
I'm not sure I love this, but oh well.
Okay.
Ooh, spicy. It's not what I would have done, but who can say if it's good or bad?
Frees up more of a angle to recover, I guess. That will, but yeah. It's doing nothing about these 3 at the bottom. I suppose he tags up that big in there. Where's this
So
other ball going?
I'm moving the zombie with the big one that's by the ball, hoping for a POW, but I can live without it. And then I'm moving the other big one up, hitting a ghoul, and then probably frenzying the other one.
Down
And then
goes
just
the golem.
running the ball, but that doesn't solve the wolf, does it? Interesting.
I'm just going to instantly power the fleshy here, and then move my troll up and blitz the other guy, and then cage him with one. Simple.
Yeah, the troll on the wolf does solve all problems, so if you can power that fleshy early, that really, really helps.
Yeah. I think again a bit like the early troll hit last time. It's an early blockless block. If you know that this is a power, it's huge, isn't it? Huge
It's
impact.
huge. Completely changes the turn because the troll can solve your wolf problems.
Yeah, this is like pretty critical to power this. But then maybe it isn't, right? Like this is the thing. Maybe
No, if it doesn't work, there's other ways to rebuild the turn.
Oh, he's failed the troll.
Okay.
Now.
I didn't
No,
like doing it with the troll because then you can't.
Yeah, it's blocked with a big.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, the troll, yeah, because the troll's still in the way. You could
You
have
can't
also
do anything
vomited.
about it if it fails, and if it fails, you're not going to score.
Yeah, you could have vomited. Then you free rolling.
Perhaps it was a vomit.
Yeah.
Perhaps it was a vomit. Yeah,
you could have
maybe.
free rolling with vomit and then have a plan of your actual plan is to go over here, but it was a free roll for a more interesting plan. All gets a full power.
That's big.
That's huge.
The problem by doing that means it stops the hitting the wolf here to free up this Garda, doesn't it? That was the problem with failing it. So I think if that is your play, maybe it's not a free roll because going stupid is bad for hitting this guy and freeing him. Wait, no, it wasn't. He's strength 3. Errata, and a moron.
Yeah, it can still be solved.
Yeah. So yeah, this hits. So you get this guy free, and then where can he go? If you power him, he can come through here, can't he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can come all the way through there.
Yeah,
he can. On a single rush, he can replace the troll and close the door on that wolf. And if you power the first wolf, or he can come and close the door on the ghoul dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about the ghoul
without a rush. So without a rush, you can close the door on that ghoul, make it a 4/3 for the ghoul to get out.
He did KO the other one, which was quite nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good timing.
But then you don't hit the ghoul.
Oh!
Jesus.
He pushes it.
Why? Okay.
I think you have to move the ball. Well, maybe he didn't. Maybe he won't. He's got to move the ball into range.
Well, the problem is that the ball can't go into range without rushes. I don't think, can it?
Well, he can go into rush range.
Yeah, we can go into rush range.
Yeah, but we now don't have rerolls to cover that.
Whoa.
What? Sure.
What?
It's better than this, isn't it?
What the flying hell are we doing now? Now we don't have anything in. The ball can't. Jim, explain.
Well, we've got the blitzer at the top, I suppose. But I mean, this looks like a.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Well, and
3D on it as a result. So.
Technically, 3 big uns are in range too.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2.
There's things about this I don't love. I've got to be honest.
Oh god, yeah, it's also a layer, so it's a 2/4 at the moment, or maybe a 2/3.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's miscounted that. That seems.
So at the moment we're trying to push this wolf off and hand off to the blitzer, but the blitzer may be on its arse. Stand the other golem up, move the one that's on the wolf, and then wolf.
Spoonio is saying that he's misclicked his thrower. That wasn't an intended move. That makes slightly more sense.
It does.
Yeah, I mean it's not dead, but
no.
Don't say it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, animosity for any of those handoffs, of course, because orcs.
Yeah, I think that was the worst decision about Orcs. Not that it's super impactful, it's just fucking stupidly annoying to like
Really
remember
annoying.
and deal with. For like new players having to remember it, and like it doesn't add flavour, right? They had an animosity rule in Warhammer, but that doesn't mean you have to give them the animosity rule in other games. Like it's so dumb. I hate
And if you are going to
everything
do
about
it, which you shouldn't, but if you are going to do it, which again, just don't. If you are going to do it, firstly punch yourself in the face so that you don't do it, and then if you come around and you still want to do it, just make it uniform across the race. But the fact that different pieces have different animosities is ridiculous.
Well, funny enough, I actually don't hate that much because the idea, it's like, you know, they did it with like the Bretonians, didn't they? Like they had the idea of, you know, like
Yeah, the forelock rule. The peasants had to give it to a knight.
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
didn't roll over a certain number. Yeah,
it's that kind of idea of the goblins are subservient, they don't have it, and then the others do. Or you could say like the biggins only don't want to give it to other biggins because, like, you know, they're not bigger. They're bigger than the others, but they're not bigger than the other biggins, so they could have it. So like that's flavourful, right? The biggins having animosity with other biggins. That kind of makes sense because like. Or whatever, or everything except other biggins, whatever. Like the point is, you could have some kind of flavourful rules. Oh, I guess he's not handing off to that guy. You could have some flavourful rules, but not this. This is stupid, and the thrower can't hand it on. Like he's got it versus everybody. The thrower, the guy who you've trained to pass it to people, can't pass it to people.
The one you know they would bully in the locker room won't give it to anyone else. I mean, brilliant. Right. The lineman will give it to anyone except other linemen. I mean, just ridiculous.
Right, so it's a hit in a 2-4-2, isn't it?
Yep.
Only a 2D though. A blockless 2D.
And you're right, it might make sense to me, Jim, if Biggins wouldn't hand it off to blitzers or linemen or throwers, but only to other Biggins.
Yeah.
But the Biggins are the only people they won't hand it off to.
yeah.
They will hand it off to a line orc or to a goblin.
Yeah.
But not to anyone, not to one their size. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's a bad rule, and an over-complex bad rule.
Yep. Here we go, 2-4-2 for the draw.
I'm on the Orkies.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. He's gonna hand off to this guy. Which makes
that makes it a 2-3-2-2.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. 2-3-2-2.
So it trades a 4 for a 2.
Rolls a 2. Well.
Yep.
Team England
trading
with
a 4 for a
win.
3 and a 2 there.
It is indeed. Yeah, I don't think the challengers' luck has improved any based on that. But look, he was in a great position, Spoonio, to start the half, right? So it's
and throughout Thulean's offense, right? Throughout, he caused him a lot of problems on defense.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing there, Chris, is slightly lopsided. I think there's bias coming into that. What obviously happened there was the Lady of the Lake and Churchill and King Arthur, God bless him, and the British Bulldog and Thatcher. They came back and their spirit filled the pitch and drove Team England on to its natural place at the top of the world order.
I was with you until the last one, Dave. You lost me on that. Hello, Liam. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. Got away with it.
It's stayed with it, I think, right? It's because I was looking a bit desperate in that first half. I think I forget turn 3, turn 4, right? With with the race going and so on, but well repositioned and kept your head and obviously got through. So yeah.
Thanks, mate. Yeah. Can we drag Spoonio into the chat as well?
I did say for him to join.
Yeah,
so yeah,
you're on it,
absolutely.
Right, I've got to give him a... Oh, we could just all move. Let's all just move.
We just move, okay. We'll come to you.
Right, I'll move them. Okay, here we are. Hello, Spoonio.
Oh, hello. What a misclick at the end. Jesus Christ.
Now, just a look before we begin, because I think it may become relevant. As a pop quiz, during Blood Bowl 3, when a big guy fails their stupid roll, how does one tell visually?
We both missed it. I noticed it.
Really?
Yeah.
We both missed it.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
We were saying
Just being a gentleman.
no. We were saying that when you're on tabletop, obviously you've got the really stupid band that you throw on. You've got a way of marking it. There's so much noise on the pitch. Certainly because I don't go blue and red. I go on the colours of the teams. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, and like
But-
the cage was so brazen, I just thought, oh, it's just a cage.
That's incredible.
Second time where you did the beautiful, complicated, Jim advocated push through the sideline using both golems to attack the ball, rather than what I was advocating, which is going around the edge by using a 3+ with your wraith that was in place to create the space for either the wolf or the ghouls to come around along the edge and attack the ball.
Yeah.
But there was another stupid troll at the back of that line that you could just have walked around the back of. Did you consider that, or just not see it again?
Yeah, didn't see it.
Okay, good.
Absolutely didn't see it. These tiny question marks, I just don't see them. And they're only there 50% of the time because they turn it off.
They give me some really stupid band.
Yeah. You should turn him a different colour or something. Like, just turn him yellow every time he's stupid or something like that.
But outside of user interface issues, and it is a horrific interface, you have my sympathy. Again, I really liked the way you came back from a tough position, kept you calm, retrenched, and then looked for another route forward.
Yeah, it helped us being in voice chat with each other because I would have lost my head, I think, just being on my own.
Yeah, it was tough, right? I mean, it certainly, whenever it was turn 3, it looked like it was going to get suffocated there. But good reposition. One of the bits that we were talking about in the first half was, I think, before you had the 3-2-2 out of it, Liam. The last blitz, the dodge spoon. We were just debating at the time. Obviously, it made sense because if he'd have failed the rushes, then you had a player back there already. Presumably.
Yeah, I agree. The big mistake I made in the first half was re-rolling the blitz with the big gun on the ball. Should have just kept him, sat him on there. Would have forced the position. I got greedy more than anything.
It's certainly a big mistake you made.
Yeah, but one of them.
Don't watch the VOD.
Not moving the ball carrier to the left was probably the biggest one. Literally, as soon as I did it, I just shouted at Liam, "What the have I done?" I had it all planned out, and then I did something. I can't remember what I did on the other side of the pitch, and then it threw me a little bit. I was like, "Oh Christ Almighty!"
The thing is, I've done that on tabletop too, where you plan a wonderful turn in your head, and then you pick a piece up, move it, roll some dice, put it down, and you think, why have I done any of that? None of that was in the plan.
But the one thing I would say is on tabletop, I hadn't rolled any dice, so I could have moved it. But no, it was a really good game, and I think even if I had moved it to where it needed to be, Liam had the 3+ and with a 1 dice blitz on the ball carrier, I'd have probably got a few more sort of potentials. It'd have probably been similar dice to score anyway at the end. But really good game.
Yeah, and I think where it all started to go wrong up the right flank as we were looking for it in the second half, right? You kept your cool, Spoon, and re-centralised and gave yourself a position.
We were saying I had one turn that the dice weren't horrible, but they were the wrong dice on the wrong pieces.
Yeah.
No, they were okay dice on the wrong pieces that just forced a real stalemate in that position, so I didn't progress at all. And then Liam put some really good pressure on to then at least force me to do something silly.
The move back to the middle was very, very nice. I thought that was definitely the strongest bit.
Kind of got to in that situation because I wasn't going to be able to push him away, was I? With the stand firm,
beat him
still
off.
had a race by then. Love to beat him off. It was a good tight game. Every time Liam and I've played, it's been tight. And it's actually come down to the last term on both games.
Great way to start, gentlemen. So, a pleasure to watch.
Both scores were essentially the same, weren't they? 3-2-2, except one had animosity. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I said at the end. I said 3-2-2. Just didn't get the dice, whereas Team England getting the dice.
The spirit of Boudica roadwood, as it has done throughout this series.
Was there another
feel
way?
fake.
I may have missed it. Was there another way out for Liam in there than the 3-2-2?
Don't think
Not
so.
without-
No, we all
not
thought
without
that
him,
was.
guys. No.
We all thought that was.
Because I couldn't see it, but obviously I was just hoping they would do the.
No, which is
Three
why
and-
our major disagreement was over whether re-rolling the blitzer dodge was necessary. Was there enough pressure to force it to score and give you 3 turns
Yeah.
without using that second re-roll?
Yeah.
I largely felt I liked it at the time. I then didn't like it when I mistakenly misread the screen and thought it was your last re-roll. When I realised it was leave you one more re-roll, I thought it was good enough.
Yeah.
But I didn't like your start of your short 3-turn drive. I felt you had to get something into the backfield by attacking the zombie in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
One
agree.
of the ghouls that he'd dangled for you.
It's one of those, isn't it, that knowing the wings weren't safe, there was a lot for me to push through. I mispositioned. I positioned to try and limit a blitz. I couldn't stop the blitz, but I was trying to
Did you?
limit the blitz.
Okay.
Yeah, because I went wide on each side, didn't I? So I went 3 wide just to force him to do dodges if he wanted to get to the ball,
Sure.
rather than give it up completely.
Certainly the central area of the pitch was fairly well protected.
Yeah.
So
So
space
it-
around the wings for the wolves, but yes, I mean it certainly kept the ghouls nice and safe. And
The same with that short
Kept the
drive
central
as
distance.
well, Liam. It was I thought the chain to push the troll away from the goblin was brilliant.
yes, we loved
Why
that.
Why did you then block him back towards the goblin afterwards?
We thought
Well,
if you just
I-
leave the troll there and don't hit it, it cannot throw that goblin.
Oh, could it not? Sorry, yeah, that was just a mistake.
I did a little internal squeal when that happened.
Yeah.
Just put it back on. I mean,
Yeah.
it made it far more interesting. Obviously.
I think from the start I thought the more I push it, the more it'll go away from the goblin. But yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have done that.
No, I mean the first one with the push out was perfect, right? It was
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
Really.
My original
we
thing.
liked either pushing the goblin back or, I mean, what you did was pushing the troll forward, which was just as good. But
Yeah.
My original
either
thought
way,
was
once
whether
they
I could.
separated, don't get them near again.
Yeah, if the troll had stayed where it was, I was looking to see if I could chain push around the back with my frenzy piece, the goblin onto the troll. But I think he had both of his sidestep and his
Yeah.
stand firm in a really good position.
Yeah, I don't think that
Um,
was on. The
no.
golems were in awful places for it.
Yeah. So I was lucky in that regards.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think the matchup is really interesting though, right? Because I don't think the claws on the wolves did much at all, right? As
No.
far
One
as-
pair at the end. Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
Right. Right, so completely.
And as
so,
Necro, obviously,
yeah.
you're lucky to be the one that's up maybe 10-8, halfway through the first half because you've taken a few out.
Yeah, yeah.
The other way round is very tough on the Necro. So even
Yeah.
with the 3-2-2, getting that score done, we really liked, and I thought was great.
And this is the thing about the one wolf, right? Like even with two wolves and 2 claws, you just don't get that much opportunity to use them both. And like this is
That's-
the
yeah,
perfect
yeah.
match to use claws, and you just don't get the chance because you can only hit one guy, and you don't want them removed, and you don't,
As I said, the most expensive back corner of a cage you'll ever probably see. But,
yeah.
but the flip side, Jim, is if your one wolf does hit something and have to dodge out and it fails, then I'm killing it. And what are you doing then?
Yep.
And you've only got 3 ball carriers. So there are limits on the one wolf build.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
I
saying
like
it's
it too.
100%
I just think
better
it
than-
has its limits.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
conversely
of
as well,
course.
I mean, obviously you played the one wolf in the last round, Liam.
Yep.
Did you feel you were a reroll light there? Same with you, Spoon. On this build, you could potentially have 4 rerolls with orcs.
I've never played with 4. I've never played before. And there's an argument to say without the block on the big uns, and obviously the 1 in 9s came into effect in that game. But
Both sides.
but I didn't end. It's not like I was reroll less by turn 3, 4. But yeah,
But then, Liam, I'm presuming on your drive, you felt it immediately. I mean, I know it was
Yep.
hella nice
Yeah.
to put it down there, but I mean, you had no choice in either of those rerolls, right? They had to
No,
go.
no. Yep. Yep.
And
The only
then
thing I
you're-
think I could have done different was pull the ghoul back further on that turn when I
When you start to come back to the left, yeah.
yeah should have pulled the ghoul back further there. It would have given me a bit more safety, but yeah. Getting the reroll off the kickoff in the second half
Yes.
was really nice. So 3 rerolls is pretty good, confirmed.
Yes, I'm trying to decide. Tomorrow I'm at a tabletop event. I'm trying to decide between do I take 4 rerolls or 5. I like.
what
I
are you
like the
taking,
rerolls.
PC?
Well,
Is
I
that
mean,
bad?
you can tell from that statement, can't you?
Wow.
Slan or vampires, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Slan or Vamps.
Vampires.
Yeah, that
Gonna
makes
be
sense.
vamp or frogs, definitely.
It's 1200 TV. And
Yeah.
But there could be gnomes
virtually
as well.
no inducements allowed. So, and using Games Workshop tiering, so vampires get 7 skills, not 6. So it sort of screams take vampires.
Outrageous.
And I'm
Outrageous.
doing Dark Elves at the NAFC next weekend, so I didn't fancy doing them 2 weekends.
I think I'm doing Dark Elves tomorrow. Into Dawn's the week after.
Anyway, guys, let's wrap up the YouTubes.
You do that.
Great game, well played, El Spoonio and Thulean. Congrats, Thulean. Commiserations, El Spoonio. Another win for Team England. And thank you, GSP and PC, for doing the commentary. And, of course, El Spoonio and Thulean for joining us after the match. Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you guys. Cheers.
Pleasure.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And stay fantastic.